to talk to us today.
Welcome.
We're from Parkinson's New Zealand, and what we were thinking about when we were listening to, or I was listening to your talk, was around falls. You spoke about Tai Chi being an important component of balance and strength. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Okay. Well, falls are really problematic in Parkinson's, so we know that there's a very, very high rate. And I think that the evidence around reducing falls is actually not that great because they're quite difficult to study. However, the Tai Chi study is probably the best evidence that has come out recently, and it really sort of shows that carrying out exercise that has a very high balance and coordination component is particularly beneficial. And that they think that was one of the aspects that helped reduce falls. But what was interesting in that study was the strength training group also reduced falls. Tai Chi was better than strength training, but strength training was also good. So that I think the take-home message from that is that you need to not only practice balance and coordination, so do something like Tai Chi, but also you have to keep your lower limbs strong because it's those muscles that support you against gravity, and that they also, if you do trip and you need to stumble and catch yourself, you need to have enough strength in the muscles in your lower limbs to support yourself against gravity, to stop you toppling over
And hurting yourself.
And there's a bit of a hint of evidence that strength training is also an important feature. For people who freezing is associated with falling. So for that, people who really experience severe freezing, falling is quite a problem. And for those people, having strategies to manage freezing and cueing in particular is likely to be helpful as well. So really sort of thinking about where you freeze, what triggers freezing, and what strategies you can use to try and prevent that from happening as much as possible. And for some people, they just need to slow down and concentrate a bit more. And I can't say that's evidence-based, but I know from seeing patients in the clinic that for some people, doing two activities at once becomes harder, and a sensible thing under those circumstances is, when you're doing sort of challenging activities, and I don't know, maybe crossing the road, think about what you're doing. So certain activities, people often, if you've got someone who's a really recurrent faller, will fall when engaged in certain activities or in certain places around the home or the garden, is to be aware of that and try and modify your behaviour in relation to where the highest risk is for that person. So from that, everyone's individual, and you've really got to sort of look at the individual and look at their own particular problems, and then come up with a package that targets those things. But definitely, something like Tai Chi, it's more fun. It's been shown to be effective. You can do it with a group, so it could be social as well. Strength training, so training the strength, particularly of the lower limb muscles, is important. For freezers, managing freezing, trying to prevent it from happening, and thinking about the environment, and also for some people, slowing down and concentrating is really important. So just if you're a little bit, someone's a little bit impulsive and not thinking and rushing, it's that slow down and concentrate, particularly for the more risky activities.
Thank you so much, Lynn. We'll take those messages home to New Zealand.
You're welcome. Okay.